guys, welcome back to another video on the channel today. In this video we're going to be looking at a new setup for the new GT3 car, the Porsche 911 GT3R. It's just come out on the Porsche Volume 3, so I just wanted to get a base setup done for this and just get it a little bit more drivable, and I think we've achieved that. We should be able to hit a very fast time when we eventually start getting more used to it, pushing it a lot harder. So the main aim for this setup really was to stabilise the rear end over the last few corners and also the first corners. Really try and get some traction to the car, because this car has naturally got a lot of top end speed on this this version of the car in this game. It's probably one of the fastest cars accelerating. I have a feeling it would be very similar to the Lamborghini, but the advantage you have with this car is got a lot more downforce variations to run. You can I think you can go up to 4 on the front wing and 20 on the rear wing, so you can really fine-tune your aerodynamics to where you want them. We haven't gone for an ultimate low downforce setup for this track with this car, because it's very fast in a straight line. There's no need to be running low downforce, because you're just going to sacrifice exit speed from some of the slower corners and some grip through some of the other corners. You can see now we're just setting ourselves basically a base lap just to set a foundation lap with this car. This was basically after I tuned it very briefly in an online session. After I'd done a practice session, got the base, then we made some alterations within an online setup, within an online lobby, and just kept tinkering with it just to suit more so the online setup that you need to do. The first lap we hit is a 130.0, but this car has a lot more potential than that, as you'll see now. I think we should be able to hit a 128 with this if we get the lap perfect. It would be a very late 28, but it would be a 28.8 or 28.9, similar to what is possible with the 488 GT3 and the Lamborghini. So this car is going to be up there with them, and also I've got another setup coming very soon. Hopefully get that out the same day as I've got this video out for the McLaren 650S GT3. Now that's a special setup that I have to admit is probably one of my better setups I've done. The car is just just alive. I felt like I could have hit a 128 in an online lobby if I would have just connected some of the corners together. That's not in hot lapping, that's just in an online lobby. The car just feels perfect for this track, and we've really got it much better than what I had before. I first tried it out when they added the track, and I've just gone back to it, and I've really got it where I want it now, the 650S GT3 round there. And I think you'll see that when I upload the lap, and I think some people may have seen me online testing it out in the race conditions. We actually hit a 129.3 and the lap wasn't perfect. Frustratingly, it should have been a 0.1 in the race. In qualifying, the best I've so far hit is a 29.1 or 2, I think it is. But again, it's just trying to get that perfect lap in, but I'm hitting the laps more consistent with the 650S over anything. But I think this car, and you can see there, second lap over the line, it's a 129.628 or 629. So this time we're going to push a little bit hard this lap. I'm just going to go through the lap where you would need to be doing things with this car. It's got a little bit more top end, but the brakes are also very strong on it. So you'll see now we're travelling them with over 150 already, and we're braking dead on the 100, much later than what we can with the Lamborghini. Going down into first gear with this GT3 car and hard on the throttle. We actually didn't take that bend perfect. We lost a fair bit of time on turn 1. We could have took that quite a bit better, but it's still okay. And we're going down into turn 3, and we're going to brake just pretty much on the 100 again. We can really brake late, going down into second gear, then on the power really early. I don't think we're running any traction control with this setup. I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember. I think it's either on the weakest setting or off completely. That's how it seemed to be driving at its best. We'll have a little look when we go through to the setup what we were actually running on. I'm pretty sure it was either on the traction control 11 or the weakest setting. We were playing around with it that much. I can't remember what my best laps came with. You can see there we lost a bit on the 2 left-handers there, which would have put us, if we would have just clicked all them laps, the sectors together, this would have already been in a low 29. You can see now we just take the final bend a little bit better this time, I think it is, and we're going to go over the line. But it's actually a 129.8 this one. I think this next lap is now the lap where we're going to push it a little bit harder. So it was a 29.8, so not an amazing lap, but this lap now, you can see we connect that first corner much better, and we pretty much do that near perfect, that corner there. And you can see we're nearly a 10th up on the delta. and we're not even under the bridge now. So you can see now as we go under the bridge, this is a spot I like to use as a reference as I go on that bridge, and this car is so fast on top end. This time we take this corner a little bit better, I think. Get on the power, reasonably okay, could have done that on the power a bit better there. We did the initial part of the corner really well, but then you heard the limiter kick in as we didn't really get the gear change perfect, but we're still a 10th up, going into the right hander, braking dead on that 100 pretty much again, very late, and you can really get the turn in with the setup that I've created. It just turns in where you want it to turn in. You can see now we're nearly approaching, we're going on for nearly 2 attempts up on the lap, and going into these 2 left-handers. Didn't get this corner perfect there. You can see we lost nearly 2 attempts just in that corner, but we get the exit a bit better. Going into the second part of this corner, this is where you can really gain some time if you connect this car up with this setup. We did it a bit better than what we had done before, but still not perfect. So overall, just by potential laps, I think just from these 3 laps we could have been hitting a 29.0 etc. So if I was to hot lap this, I would expect a 128 very easily. So we're going to go into the final corner now, taking that really nicely on the power and then into fourth gear. You can see we're going to go over the line on a, I think it's a 129.4. so again, it's showing a lot of potential just when consistency testing it. I think online I've hit a 129.3 with this already in a qualifying session, so it's definitely got the potential. So we're going to go through the setup now. As you can see, we also had very high fuel then in that run. Then we had 27 litres of fuel. We weren't low fuel running it, so it's got a lot of potential, as you can see. Brake balance 70, you can move that up slightly to 70.5 I would say in a race situation, and aero 0.11. You can see we've gone for a little bit over halfway on the aerodynamics, and we don't need any front end aerodynamics with this car. It handles so well naturally. Gearing quite low. You want to set your gears pretty much to what you want to hit, because this car you can rev it really high, and that's where you're going to get your speed with this car. As you can see now, suspension, we've really gone high on the suspension again with this Porsche. Seems to be something the Porsches really like, and a lot of other cars I'm starting to get a bit more used to now. I'm still learning on this game, and I'm starting to learn where to put the suspension up and where not to now, and we're getting a lot more consistency with our setups. Front anti-roll bars gone high again, rear on 3, which is it's about middle of the setting on the anti-roll bars with this car, but it feels really nice. Springs, we went obviously a bit stronger at the front and softer at the back for the traction coming out the corners. With regards to the damper settings, we upped some of the bump stop, I think, slow bump, and we also reduced the fast bump to just give us a bit more security over the curbs. The rebounds, we upped them slightly and equaled them off just to get a more balanced setup. We also I think we went slightly higher over the default on the travel range, just to help out on that last few corners as well, just to give the car a bit more travel on the suspension so it doesn't bottom out and really unsettle the car. It drives really nice as a base setup this, and it should be possible to hit a 28 if you're really pushing it in a hot lap situation. Anyway guys, I hope this setup helps you out, hope it gets you consistent. It should be a very strong car at this track, with the top end it hits and the grip it gets and the handling it's got. I would expect this to be a very good choice in an online lobby. It may be possible that we may get a hot lap where I upload an online lap in a 128 in this car and the 650S. Both seem very strong at this track, and I'm really looking forward to really getting used to this Porsche, as I'm still not 100% used to it. It's a little bit different now, you've got to drive it over the other GT3s, but it's a really nice car and definitely one of the top 4 or 5 cars in the game. It's definitely able to keep with the Ferrari and the McLaren and the Lamborghini easily. Anyway guys, make sure you hit that like button if you've liked this video, and make sure you subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, as I'll be uploading a lot more setups over the next few days. Thanks again for watching.